we will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order.
Which day?
Monday, March the 9th. Start of Purim, for those of you who are...
Oh, is it?
...of that particular religion.
Mm-hmm.
The motion to reconsider. A. In a standing or special committee always requires a 2/3 vote. B. Requires a 2/3 vote if the motion to be reconsidered requires a 2/3 vote. C. Cannot be called up except by a member who made the motion. Or D. Must be seconded at the time it is made.
Okay, go through it again.
Okay. Motion to reconsider.
No. Okay, yeah.
In a standing or special committee.
Okay, so it's a motion to reconsider in a committee.
Well, no, that's the motion to reconsider, colon. Choice A. In a standing or special committee always requires a 2/3 vote.
That's not it.
B. Requires a 2/3 vote if the motion to be reconsidered requires a 2/3 vote.
That might be it.
C. Cannot be called up except by the member who has made the motion.
That's incorrect.
D. Must be seconded at the time it is made.
Well, it always needs to be D.
Are you sure?
Well, all motions need to be second unless it's in a small committee. See, that's where I'm starting to overthink it. It's either D or the 2/3 if the other one required 2/3. It's either B or D. But I do think it needs to be seconded at the time it's made. So I'm going to go with D.
And the answer is D.
Okay. So it doesn't require 2/3. It only requires a majority.
Well, the 2/3 if the motion to reconsider requiring 2/3 doesn't make any sense anyway.
It could kind of, but not really right.
So I refer to my handy little cheat card here.
Well,
we'll get there.
Okay.
Motion to reconsider.
Did you know this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He says that.
Motion to reconsider.
Mm-hmm.
Requires a second, yes. Debatable, yes. If applied to a debatable motion.
Exactly. We went over that earlier.
Yes. Amendable? No, doesn't matter. Majority required to adopt.
Right.
And, yeah, may a motion to reconsider be reconsidered? No.
Just vote it.
That would create a perpetual loop of reconsideration motions. Exactly.
And
you don't want to go there.
And what it didn't say in here, but they were trying to fool you into thinking it said, it has to be made by a person on the winning side of the motion to be reconsidered.
They said the person that made the motion.
Yeah, rather than the...
That was a trick.
Right,
that was a trick.
Yeah, because the person who made the motion may not be
on the winning side.
On the winning side, right.
We had that happen at the platform committee meeting.
Yeah. So, reference 320, line 6.
And reconsider has to be in the same meeting, or is it the same session? Because I know outside a certain period of time, then it's a motion to rescind, and a motion to rescind doesn't require you to be on the winning
I
side.
believe it's in the same meeting.
It doesn't say in the question, but let's see what it says in the book.
320.
Yeah. Because motion to rescind is a totally different section, too.
Yeah.
Because rescind is covered back at...
but people get confused and think a
305.
rescission has to be on the winning side, and it doesn't.
Right. Okay, 320, line 6. Must be seconded at the time it is made, unlike the making of a motion, which must be done by the person who voted with the prevailing side. The seconding can be done by any member regardless of how they voted on the motion to be reconsidered. The calling up of the motion to reconsider does not require a second. Okay, so what is the difference between the calling up of a motion to reconsider and a motion to reconsider?
Okay, the motion to reconsider just means now we are going to reconsider.
Yes.
You don't need to remove the motion that you're reconsidering because it had already been originally moved.
Huh?
Okay, let's say...
You lost me there.
We moved to execute Mike at 2 o'clock, and it passed. Okay? But Wayne, who originally had wanted to execute you, had a change of heart, so he moved to reconsider.
Okay.
And the motion to reconsider passed.
Yes.
I do not need to remove, nor does anyone else need to remove executing you. It just automatically comes back up.
Okay.
because the reconsider passed.
Okay. Death by 1,000 cactus needles.
That's my example for everything.
Yeah. It's a running gag.
But what was the other? I had another question that the beer made me forget.
Was about meetings versus sessions.
Oh yeah, what's the time frame on which it needs to be done? So I think they'd be under characteristics, right? No?
We're in characteristics, aren't we?
Standard? Okay.
Yeah, we're in characteristics. There's a long set of characteristics.
It is.
As I have read it, it is the same meeting, which could be a session of 2 days, or 3 days, or 4 days, or whatever.
No, you're getting, and if you're going to, we might be moving, okay, we have to correct the studio audience. A session is comprised of multiple meetings.
Right.
So when we said the same meeting, you then went on to say, yes, the same meeting, even if it's on a different day of the session. If it's a different day of the session, it's a different meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like a convention
Is a session. with
is a
multiple
session,
meetings.
but Saturday is one meeting and Sunday is
Those are
another
confusing
meeting.
terms.
It gets very confusing.
Yes.
I understood the idea, but I
Yeah.
didn't get the terms.
It happens. Let's
But I
see.
don't see where it... Calling up. Okay, during any regular meeting or special meeting. I think it's in the session.
What page?
Well, it doesn't, I can't find where it says that, but because it talks about reconsidering of a vote on a later day, I'm assuming that is weird.
Another question to throw at the altar. You're right. You're running out of goats.
Well, I'm going to look in the index because sometimes that will give me a hint while you're still looking.
Yeah.
But I
I
think
haven't
it's
seen
the session. I think you can reconsider in the session. So no matter how many meetings are in
I
the
think
session.
logically that makes sense.
Yeah, because I believe someone said since a committee is all considered one session,
Right.
we would never have to really use a rescission. We could always
Right.
just reconsider, but I want to find...
And we did a
it.
motion to reconsider on the merge thing back on the bylaws committee.
Take up on May, temporary time limits. 316 and 329. In a session of 1 day, such as the ordinary meeting or a one-day convention, reconsider can be made only on the day the vote to be reconsidered was taken.
In a convention or session of more than 1 day, reconsideration can be moved only on the same day the original vote was taken or on the next succeeding day within the session on which a business meeting is held.
So if it's a 3-day convention and it was done on the first day,
You only can do it on the second day, but not the third.
That's weird,
That is weird.
but
That
it
sounds
is what it is.
bizarre because it seems to me that you should be able to do it any time in the session.
Mm-hmm.
Then, to me, that makes the most sense.
Then,
That's the way I understood it.
Yeah.
but then, when it comes to committees,
Uh-huh.
then maybe we were wrong.
There was another line right there on 316, right for that.
Well, there was another thing over on 329 that talked about committees, though, too.
316, right after it said, these time limitations do not apply to standing or special committees.
Okay. See, 329, which was the page I had just referenced.
Right.
Okay. Yes, a motion to reconsider can be taken up regardless of the time that has lapsed.
Since the vote was taken.
Yeah.
And there are no limits to the number of times a question can be reconsidered. So the argument that if it reconsiders fails, you can't bring it up again doesn't apply in special or
Ooh.
standing committees.
I just learned something else. The motion can be made by any member of the committee who did not vote with the losing side. So, people who didn't vote, you don't have to be with the winning side, you just can't be, there's a difference. So,
Or one not vote at all or was absent.
right,
Yeah.
that's different. So, that one time where, last night, was it last night? No, it was the night before.
Not before. No, it was last night.
No, last night was executive committee.
Oh, yes, right. Night before.
So when they were searching for someone on the winning side to do the motion to reconsider, I could have done it because I didn't vote.
Uh-huh.
So I wasn't a loser.
Yeah, it excludes the ones on the losing side, but not anybody else. The way this is written.
But in regular board
then it has to be
meetings,
with the prevailing side.
right.
Yeah, but committees is different.
Yeah.
You'd be prevailing, not voting, or absent.
We've been learning a lot of stuff. My head's starting to hurt.
A lot of details. Oh, no, that's the beer.
No, really, it's this.
That's the beer and the Mountain Dew.
The crown is too tight.
No.
Is it a coronavirus?
It's the coronavirus. Was this you?
Yeah, I read the
that was
I
you.
read the ad ones, remember? Yeah.
Oh, so it's me now.
Anyway, we haven't adjourned. So
We haven't. You
the
need to
moral
adjourn.
of this story is if you want to reconsider, do it the same day. Be on the winning side, if preferably, and
Or the next day,
and get a second.
if it's the same session.
Yeah, and get a second.
All right. Cheers. How many bottles of beer on the wall?
Only two.
2 bottles of beer on the wall. I'm going to need to get another one.
Favor! Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed? You say nay. Opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.